On this video we're taking a look at our NCAAB parlay for the games which are happening on Sunday, February 13, 2022. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 500 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Our first parlay pick is Connecticut vs St. John's. Connecticut minus 3.5. The St. John's Red Storm tough schedule continues against ranked opponents. St. John's had a mini 2-game winning streak erased in a 75-69 home loss to Villanova on Tuesday in a tilt that had the Red Storm as 6.5-point dogs. This squad has a few big wins but has not been able to break through in Big East play, posting a 5-7 conference record. They have covered the spread in 3 straight games. The Yukon Huskies and St. John's Red Storm face off on Sunday at Madison Square Garden, which is considered a home game for St. John's. These two teams played on January 12 and Yukon won 86-78. St. John's is 13-10 Sioux and 11-12 Austrian shillings. In their last game versus Villanova, the Red Storm kept it close for a while but ended up losing by 2 possessions. In their home games, St. John's averages 82 ppg on over 46% shooting, while giving up 71.3 ppg on under 40% shooting. They have not performed well Austrian shillings in their home games, going 4-10 Austrian shillings despite 10 Sioux wins. On the other side of the floor, Yukon is 16-7 Sioux and 11-12 Austrian shillings. The Huskies have had some quality wins this year, but they struggled at Xavier on Friday. They gave up 40 points in the second half and could not score enough to overcome their defensive inefficiencies. On the road, the Huskies averaged 73.7 ppg on 42.5% shooting from the field, while opponents score 71 ppg on 42.6% shooting against them. Julian Champagne is a big scoring threat and has eclipsed 20 points in 2 out of his last 3 games. The junior guard is capable of carrying this team. He is averaging 18.5 ppg and 6.6 rpg on the season. Posh Alexander continues to thrive. The sophomore guard is connected on over 50% of his field goals in 2 out of his last 3 performances and enters with an average of 14.9 ppg and 5.2 apg. Dylan Adiwusu has scored double digits in 2 out of his last 5 clashes. The sophomore guard owns an average of 9.3 ppg. Our second parlay pick is Maryland vs Purdue, Purdue minus 16. There is just nothing inspiring about this Maryland team. The Terrapins have a lot of experience, but it has not paid off during tough times this season. They are amid their worst stretch of basketball of the season, looking lifeless in the blowout loss to Iowa earlier this week. Meanwhile, Purdue has been one of the best teams in the country and will be motivated after Thursday's loss to Michigan. The Boilermakers have bounced back after every loss this season and have only lost 1 game at home. They should pull away in the second half on Sunday afternoon. The Terps have lost 4 in a row heading into this Super Bowl Sunday game. In their last game, they gave up a whopping 110 points to Iowa in regulation. You just don't see that much scoring in a conference game, and it is hard to see how this trip to Purdue is going to be any easier. Maryland's only road win this season was at Rutgers. That is just a bit of an easier trip than to Mackey Arena. Purdue is coming off just its 4th loss of the season, as the Boilermakers were unable to contend with a hot shooting Michigan squad on Thursday night. They had won 6 consecutive games heading into that contest, including an 84-68 win over number 13 Illinois on Tuesday. Purdue has bounced back from its previous 3 losses with winning streaks, so it will be looking to replicate that success on Sunday afternoon. The Boilermakers are also trying to stay in contention for the Big Ten regular season title, as they are now 1 game back of Illinois in the loss column. They are currently tied with Wisconsin and Michigan State, as all 3 teams have 4 losses. Purdue had a massive thud at Michigan on Thursday. They did not play well, but that game was also an outlier for the Wolverines, who had their best game of the season. Hunter Dickinson had not made 4 3-pointers in a game all season, and the whole Michigan team was hot from deep. At the same time, Purdue had their worst offensive game of the season, scoring just 58 points. The Boilermakers have not lost back-to-back games this season, and this one could be ugly for the Terps if they are angry off of the loss. The Boilermakers are one of the best defensive teams in college basketball, ranked 1st in KenPom's adjusted efficiency ratings. They are shooting 40.5% from 3-point range and 57.2% from inside the arc. Purdue is also doing an excellent job on the offensive glass and is avoiding turnovers, so the Boilermakers have been the complete package. They are facing a Maryland defense that is number 117 in adjusted efficiency. Guard Jaden Ivey leads Purdue with 17.0 points, 5.0 rebounds and 3.2 assists per game. Centers Akidi, forward Trevian Williams and center Sasha Stefanovic are all scoring in double figures as well. This is a big number, and if you are going to back Purdue, you kind of have to pretend like the last game just didn't happen. The last 3 times that the Boilermakers have been favorites of 10 or more points against Big Ten competition, they are 3-0 swats. The Purdue side is where I am leaning, but I have to admit that is part love for Jaden Ivey and part frustration for Maryland. If Purdue scores 90, which is likely, they can win and cover with ease. Our third parlay pick is Northwestern versus Illinois. Illinois win -9.5. A couple of factors that weigh heavily in this rematch from early January are points in the paint and second chance points. In the first matchup, Northwestern lost a rebounding battle overall, 36-30, but also were dominated in the paint. The Illini scored 32 of their 59 points in the paint, compared with just 16 points in the paint from the Wildcats. In addition, the Wildcats produced 0 second chance points, compared with 11 for Illinois. They also shot the ball just 23% from the floor for the first half. If not for a good, but not great, shooting night from Pete Nance, the Wildcats lose by 15, and not just 3. Now fast forward to Sunday afternoon. The Illini play host to Northwestern with their loss to Purdue still hanging in their heads and the need for a win to maintain first place in the Big Ten. I fully expect similar numbers in the paint in this one, but also much better perimeter shooting from the Illini at home in this one. Northwestern has not traveled particularly well this year, at just 3-4, so they will not be able to withstand the interior domination this time around. Despite giving Illinois all they could handle at home, Northwestern is in a tough spot in this matchup. The Illini are coming off of a double-digit loss at Purdue and now sit just a half game ahead of the Boilermakers and Wisconsin in the Big Ten standings. We should see a focused effort, which is scary for Northwestern. Northwestern is riding a 3-game winning streak, but it's not been the most impressive of performances. They escaped at home in overtime against Rutgers, won at Nebraska, and then needed a second-half comeback to defeat an extremely short-handed Indiana team. This will be a major step up in class for the Wildcats, and they don't match up particularly well. The Illinois offense is built around pick and roll and Kofi Cockburn post-ups, both of which pose a challenge for Northwestern's defense. Northwestern ranks in the 54th percentile in pick and roll defense and just the 40th percentile in post-up defense. Expect to see a bounce-back performance from the Illini offense after they scored just 1.03 points per possession on Purdue's subpar defense. On the other end, the Illinois defense ranks second in the Big Ten in adjusted defensive efficiency, so expect Northwestern's offense to struggle to score enough to keep this within the number. Disclaimer, no financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information contained in or provided from or through this channel is not intended to be and does not constitute financial advice, investment advice, trading advice, or any other advice. The information on this channel and provided from or through this channel is general in nature and is not specific to you, the user, or anyone else. You should not make any decision, financial, investment, trading, or otherwise, based on any of the information presented on this channel without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or financial advisory.